Hi everyone, how are you guys tonight? You guys, it is Thursday. Ooh, I'm glad that lid was on because I just dropped that. It is Thursday and my name is Brandy. I am the owner and artist behind Brush by Brandy. And I paint here live with you guys every Thursday evening on the Brush by Brandy Facebook and Instagram pages. So we are going to paint tonight. And I finally have this piece ready behind me. It's been sitting here for a couple weeks. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about this. My husband Sean is here behind the camera to help us answer any questions as we go. So pop on and answer those. And I have some fun surprises for you guys tonight.
What's going to happen when your brother husband starts doing behind the camera?
Oh, yeah. Have you guys been watching that? What's that?
Isn't that what it's called? Brother husband or something?
I don't know. Something about getting two husbands. And
Relief hitter?
You know, wow, yeah. That is crazy. I don't think that's a jam for me. Okay, so you guys, this has been sitting here behind me for a couple weeks, and it's because when I first went to paint this, I was like, oh, it's a super cute piece. I'm going to throw some paint on it. It's got great shape. I love the front of it. It's kind of a blank slate for me to do a whole bunch of stuff too. And then when I got the piece home, I was like, dang it, it's really well made. And dang it, these that I thought, you know, just from a photo, I thought these would be probably painted on, and they're actual inlays in the wood. So I was like, well, now I'm compelled that I've got to strip these drawers back and I've got to leave the wood. So
dang it, I picked this piece up and it's good.
Yeah,
dang it.
I know. I kind of like look forward to being able to cover it up with paint. And this one, when I got it home, I was like, huh, that's actually a really nice wood that's got great wood grain. And then these are wooden inlays. So we're going to do a treatment on the front of this, and then we're going to put some paint on the body. But while we're working on these drawers, I wanted to give you guys something to think about with me. And that is color. And I have two colors that are kind of in my head. And so I'm going to put them on the piece here. And then when we're working on the front, you can kind of be thinking whether we want to go this direction. I'm not going to touch this wood. I'm just putting these up here as color samples.
Hey, Fireball June.
Hey, Fireball June. So I'm just putting these up here as color samples. So this one is, we're using Wise Owl paint tonight. This color is called Grecian Clay. And I love that it's like a warm gray with some brown undertones. So very earthy. So that is one option, is to go into the grays. See, now I'm going to get carried away and I'm just going to end up painting the whole thing. Okay, so we'll leave that up there. And then
Debbie says we didn't come up in her feed. She had to go hunt for us.
Oh, well, it's worth the hunt.
Well, we'll try to make it worth your while.
Go tell all your friends.
Some of us are more conceited than others. I'll try.
I'm hearing that more and more. You know what's so funny is like Facebook started the whole live video thing, like Facebook Live. And then now I feel like they don't want you live as much. Yeah, they're like, well, how about we do this? It down. Just kidding, guys. You guys are on here way too much. But I've been going live for what? Let's see. My first live was probably
65 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then Thursdays became a thing when we moved to this house, which has been almost 5 years. So every Thursday for like at least 5 years. You know, it's kind of like just a routine now where, you know, why quit? Now we just are used to it. And
I'm married. This is my wife. That's what I do on Thursdays.
Okay, this is my other option here, which is going into the greens. And this color is called Dried Thyme. Okay, so I'll put these up here, and then you guys can shout out as we go through with working on the front whether you think the green or the gray works best.
Dawn says you pop up on Instagram, but then she has to jump over to Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And Debbie says it's the first time it's happened.
That's one way to do it, is just get your alerts from Facebook or from Instagram, but actually come over to Facebook to watch. They both have very different feeds because Instagram broadcasts it on a vertical orientation, so you get part of the picture cut off. And Facebook likes a horizontal orientation. So I don't know. You just can't win. You gotta like pick and choose from each one, which is the best.
So Facebook is a horizontal. What's Instagram?
Vertical. Right? Yeah. Very. Okay. So what we are going to do on the front of this, we are actually going to add a little bit of color to this wood. And for this, I'm going to pull the drawers out because I want them to be laying flat while I work on them. So I'm going to pull this top one out first. Okay, these are those drawers that have that have stops on them where you got to give it a good yank. So.
Oh man, with your water on top.
Okay, water goes up there. Okay, so they just have kind of a rubber stop on the back, and you just have to push through that a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to use on these is called Weather Wash. And Weather Wash is a weathered wood accelerator. It comes in several different colors. Lowe's actually carries Weather Wash. You can also get it online at weatherwash.com, I think is their website. But this is a weathered wood accelerator, and it's going to gray this wood naturally. So it's going to give it the look of a weathered wood. You know what I'm going to need tonight that I didn't get is my heat gun.
I can't work under these conditions.
Sean's so tired right now. And I know he's tired because last night was the first night that I ever thought, having separate bedrooms might actually make really good sense.
I finally sold you on it?
Yeah, we've been sick for the last, I was sick first, and now Sean's got it, so he's congested. I'm still congested. Okay, so this is Weather Wash, and the color that I'm going to use is called Oaked, like an oak tree. And it's a really, really thin formula. It doesn't smell like wood stain. It smells more like a vinegar. So, I just had to, that'll clear the nasal passages out.
Yeah.
It smells a little bit like vinegar, and I'm going to put it on the wood. I'm going to use a brush, and it's very thin. It's very watery. So you can see it'll want to drip off my brush. It's very thin. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to saturate this wood. I have sanded this wood completely down. So this is, I used an 80 grit and then a 120 and a 220 grit. So I've got a nice smooth wood finish on here. I think this brush actually has wax in it because it wants to repel the water. I'll use one of my Klingon brushes. And I'm going to saturate this. I don't want it to puddle, but I do want it on nice and good. So I'm going to generously coat this. It's almost like a stain, but I'm going to get a much more natural effect. Now, the one thing I'll say with this weathered wood accelerator is you don't have a whole lot of control over it, and all wood ages differently. So the goal of this is to give it an aged wood effect. But if you think about it, not all wood looks good when it's aged. So it's not uncommon with some pieces that I put this on and then gone, okay, that wood did not age very well. You know, it didn't age gracefully like I am. And so sometimes you don't have a lot of control over it. The wood is going to age how the wood's going to age. And so in that case, there have been times when I've either had to come up back and put a traditional wood stain over the top or a paint finish or something like that. So just be aware that it sounds really cool to age the wood naturally, but sometimes not all wood is pretty when it ages. No offense, Sean.
What am I, friggin' Pinocchio?
Okay, and then now that I've got that on here, I'm going to do the undersides of this drawer. This is all sanded down to just the raw wood. I didn't put a pre-stain conditioner or anything on here. And then I'm going to turn this. I do have my hardware. Well, I did. I had my hardware inside this drawer. I just threw it in there when I was working on the piece. These are made by Pulaski. Whoops. I'm going to throw me.
Oh, good. Brenda just got a pop-up ad to find a doctor near her. Perfect.
So speaking of aging gracefully, can you grab me a rag? I just dripped inside the drawer.
I left her at home. Oh.
Oh, really?
That's too big.
Yeah, I don't need...
How about one of these?
All right, that's cool. All right, I got a couple drips inside the drawer. That's okay because these have a finish on them, so I can just wipe that away. And now I'm going to set this aside and we're going to do the next one.
So the colors that you used, what were the names of those colors?
So
and then what paint line?
This is Grecian clay, and this is dried thyme, and both are from Wise Owl Paint. That's what I'm using tonight. I've got my paint up here, and I have a couple different color schemes. So if we go with the green, I've got a couple of colors to go with that. We are going to paint tonight, and then if we go with the gray, I have some colors that'll go with that. So either a green color scheme or a gray color scheme are the ones that I'm thinking. And once I get these drawers done, I will put them back in the piece and we'll be able to see them next to the paint color too.
Yeah, sorry about that, Teresa. She said she heard that. That's how I work all day long.
What?
Just a smart aleck. She said she heard that when I said that I left her at home.
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough that
I know
that Sean works from home, so we literally spend the entire day together, no break whatsoever.
You're lucky. I know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it though. I feel like even when I come out, because I'll usually stay in the bedroom and I'll stay in there and work in the mornings, and he has a home office. And then I'll just come sit in the home office and we'll talk about, what's going on for the day. And he'll tell me about how much he hates his job, and I'll tell him how much I hate my job. And it was a regular day at the office.
And then we bond.
Yeah, I'm kidding. How much we hate our bosses.
Yeah.
All right, so I kind of, I put it on a little heavy because the raw wood absorbs the moisture pretty quickly. So I kind of work it into the wood until it has absorbed. You just don't want to leave it puddling. The only place I kind of want it a little heavy is around some of these edges.
Sorry guys, it drives me crazy when she paints like this.
Sorry.
Keep adjusting.
It's because this is such a liquid that if I had the drawers in here, it would just want to run and
If
drip.
you want to talk, you got to put your head down a little further.
Me?
Yeah. Now that I got you on the drawer, you got to kind of look at me like this.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
So I put it on a little heavy, and then I just brush it into the wood nice and even, because you don't want puddling. If you have puddling with this stuff, it will cause some unevenness. And I'm working my way around the drawers too, making sure I get all of the edges.
You scare me when you move that can. That's pretty watery.
Leather wash, yeah, it is. It's really, really liquidy. Varathane also has a version of this that I like, and that one you can get. I think that one's online and at hardware stores too. They work pretty similarly. Weather wash has more colors than Varathane does. All right, so that's my second drawer. Let's go ahead and get one more, and then we'll go back to the first one and take a look at it.
Do you want to catch this spot right here, middle? There we go.
So you also don't wipe it off, so it doesn't go on like a stain where you would put the stain on and then you wipe it away. This one you just let it absorb into the wood. You can do like there's a blackened one where you can kind of blacken wood so it looks charred. There's a dark brown. Those are really pretty too. And also the different varieties of wood. So the color that oak is when it ages is different than the color that you're going to get from like pine when it ages. So no piece is ever the same, and you don't have a lot of control over it. So this would not be a good solution if you have like a piece that has, damage. Maybe it was used as a potting stand and it's got a lot of water damage. It's not going to camouflage anything.
So, quick question, because I wasn't looking when Lori posted this. She's doing a raised stencil with joint compound.
Yes.
Does she sand and then shellac it? Or
yes, I would sand it first. Sand to get rid of the nubs on your stencil, so it's nice and pretty smooth. You don't want to sand it so much that you get rid of the raised stencil, but get rid of the little nubs and then put the shellac over the finished product. That's what you want to paint. We are going to do that tonight too, actually.
What?
It's funny that you say that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, and I'm almost done with this third drawer. And then I'm going to pull back that first one and we'll kind of accelerate the process so you can see the results a little bit.
Oh, thanks for asking, Cindy. Do we feel better? A little.
I'm still congested, but at this point I'm thinking it might be like seasonal allergies too. So I took like Claritin today to see if that helped. So far, no. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So let's go back to our first drawer. I'm going to pop the lid back on my weather wash. You also can layer the weather wash. So after my first coat, if I feel like I want it a little bit darker, but if you do that, you just want to make sure that it's dried completely because you don't want to pull back away what you've already put on and it only ages the very top layer of the wood. It's not going to age it all the way through. All right, so this is my first drawer, and my weather wash is nicely soaked in, and I'm going to take a heat gun to this. Now, normally when I'm doing this, I will just put it on and I walk away. But for the sake of being on camera, I'm going to accelerate the process a little bit and show you guys what this looks like as it dries. And I'm going to put a heat gun on it. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to talk very much as this is going because I'll have the gun on. But try to watch the difference that this makes as I dry this wood, what the accelerator does to the wood. I should have left one undone so you could see the orangey tones in this wood. Yeah, I should have left one undone. Oh well. Okay, so this is still wet on this side from here. I have only done this little corner right here, but you can already see how it just turns it into kind of a gray driftwood look. So I'm going to let it do that, and I'll do this whole drawer. Okay, now I've got a couple spots on here that didn't age as evenly. So over here, I've got a couple spots, and then right along this edge here. And so what I'm going to say is the edges probably still have a little bit of my old finish on them because it's in that really 90-degree corner that I got out with the my carbide scraper. In that case, I would probably just darken those using a little bit of glaze at the end, or I could use dark wax. But for the most part, I like the color. It's taken all the orangey tones out of the wood and it becomes this very natural kind of earthy gray tone. I'm going to actually put another coat on this and just see how much it darkens again.
You are a rebel.
So when I put this second coat on, I'm not going to over rub it because remember I told you it only ages that topmost part of the wood, and I don't want to pull that away by rubbing it. So I put another coat on and now I'm going to dry it again. Okay, and I'm going to throw this in the piece so you guys can maybe get a different view. I know it's hard to see when I'm working on stuff down at an angle like that. And then you can also start thinking on my paint colors too. Okay, so can you see from when we started, if you were watching when we started to where we are right now, how gray that wood is?
Yeah, Brenda, I did. Like a kid that just had too much candy before we went live, apparently.
Who?
Me. Had all this energy and you're making me sit right here.
Oh, you want to go for a jog?
Yes.
Okay, let's take the second one and I'll put this in. This one I have not dried yet. Can I find the glide on that? That's a big drawer. Alright, so this one still has some of the orangey tones in it.
What's this called again?
Dries. This is called Weather Wash.
The brand.
Weather Wash. That's the brand.
I don't like your attitude.
So like I said, normally I would not accelerate this. I just wanted to accelerate it to show you guys the effect that it gives. But this is what I'm thinking is I'm going to gray this wood out. I will use some glaze and kind of shadow along the edges of the wood. And I might even accentuate some of this graining with a little bit of glaze too. Darken that up a little bit. I ended up doing 2 coats, so I'll probably need to do 2 coats on the entire piece. My second coat was much lighter. Pop the lid lid back off of this guy again. And that way I'll have all of these at the same stage. So what are you guys thinking on color? Do you like with the grayed wood? No, it's not complete yet. But this is kind of the color that I'm thinking I'll go with on the wood. A kind of a grayed wood, a little bit muted. You can still see all that grain. It's still very natural. But just took all those orangey tones out. So those are my best suggestions when you're using a weathered wood accelerator like that. I mean, it's like with stain. I've been teaching my son how to refinish furniture pieces, and one of the first things he learned was that stain doesn't hide anything. Stain accentuates everything. So if you have a flaw in your wood, you can't go into it really thinking that stain is going to cover it up. Stain is going to make it more accentuated. And that's the same thing with this. It's not going to cover up any flaws in your wood, so you want to have really pretty wood grain when you're using this.
So, color. What color is that?
This color is called Oaked. O-A-K-E-D. And it comes in, I don't know, they probably have like 9 colors. Pine, charred, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of colors that Weather Wash comes in. Lowe's carries some of them, and then the rest are available online. They also have a clear coat and a conditioning oil and a few different products in the line too. But I like their stuff. Varathane is another version. Theirs works pretty similar, but it only comes in 3 colors. 3 that I found.
Somebody made a comment. Looks like you're burnt because you're red.
Oh, I'm just naturally red. I did get a little burnt in San Diego, but only here and on the tops of my feet. I didn't think I was wearing flip-flops, and I didn't put sunscreen on my feet. So, and then I'll kind of clean this up, but I like the overall color of it. Now, in looking at this, I feel like the gray is too matchy. So I really like the gray tones, but I don't feel like it's enough contrast, and I don't want it to kind of blend in or even clash. I'm kind of leaning towards the green. So what do you guys think? But before we put paint on, we were just talking about some raised stenciling, and I'm going to put a raised stencil on the side.
What?
So let me turn this guy, and we'll work on this side here.
I mean, it looks like it should be done. That piece is
Yeah,
done
you
as
think
it is.
so?
Oh, yeah. If I was doing
Don't
it,
even put
that's
the
done.
other drawer
Don't
in?
even touch it. Don't
Okay.
even look at it.
Now this piece has a lot of curvature to it. So I did put primer on here. This is just white primer from, and I just sprayed it. It's just a rattle can primer. I put the primer on here because I had to do a lot of sanding to this piece. It had some unevenness in the wood grain. This has a very heavy grain to it. And so I did have to do a lot of sanding. So I went ahead and just coated it with a coat of primer. But I'm going to add a raised stencil because I think these sides are going to be kind of plain. They're kind of an open area. And I'm going to use this, which is a stick and style stencil. It's been a long time since I used one of these on camera, but I did use them just in my classes with Redesign with Prima. So these are from Redesign with Prima. Let me grab the package. They come in a box like this. They are, what are they, 15 yards? I think this one is 15 yards. Does it say on here? Oh, it doesn't say on here. Huh. Online it does say. Online it says, and I think this is 15 yards. It's a roll, and it's adhesive. So,
Oh, look at that. Someone from Weathered Hearts Designs just showed up.
hey, Emily. Emily's getting a new puppy I just saw.
What?
So sweet. She has an older dog, and so now it'll have a little friend. I forget your older dog's name, though. What was his name? Okay, so I'm going to start off. I find the edge, and these are really hard to tear. They're very hardy. It's kind of a vinyl, and I'm going to pull it off the roll. And the reason I'm choosing the stick and style stencil is because it's flexible. So it's going to conform to this curve, and I don't need a stencil adhesive. If I was trying to use a stencil on here, I would have to try to make it conform, and then it's going to be larger than this opening. So places here, like, I would have a hard time conforming it to the shape of this piece. Whereas the stick and style, well, that had Weather Wash on it. The stick and style I can make conform perfectly. And I'm going to use one piece and do this whole side of this dresser. Okay, so I'm going to pull a piece off that's as long as my longest length would be. And my longest length that I'll need will be this wide section right here. Okay, so I'm going to roll it off plus a little bit of excess because I want to be able to center the design. Okay, and
Scamp.
then... Oh, Scamp, okay. Is that the new puppy's name?
The cat, I mean the Chihuahua. Also Harley the Tank.
Oh, Harley, that's what I was thinking of. I was trying to think of Harley. What's the new puppy's name? Okay, and then I'm going to find the center, and I've got an idea where I can cut this. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut my stick and style.
Well, Dawn's picking up a new puppy next week, but unfortunately she lost her 12-year-old a few weeks ago.
So hard, you guys. We had a pug that we lost when we first moved here. She just didn't do well, and that's how we ended up with Ginger, who's my boxer. What?
You want to know what the new dog's name is?
Yeah.
Layla.
Oh, is it? That was my pug's name. She was Layla. Oh, no, you're gonna make me cry. Okay, so I'm gonna find the center of my pattern. I'm gonna start up here on this section and work my way down. And I want to center the design. So I'm looking at this damask pattern. This pattern or this design is called Damask Flourish. This comes in a whole bunch of different designs. There's damask patterns, there's florals, there's some geometric designs. So I chose the damask. I feel like it kind of goes with the simplicity of the front. And then I'm just going to find my placement, and I'm going to loosely stick this on here. So it's a big sticker, okay? And that goes on really easily. And then all I'm going to use for my, don't look at this container because this is not actually the what I have in here. This is just a small spackle container that I am using for storage. This is drywall mud. This is joint compound. And the brand, this one, it came from a big...
You get them in boxes.
Like a big container. And that's why I put it in the smaller one. And I think the brand was DAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was DAP. Okay, so I'm just going to take, this is a silicone brush. And I'm going to scrape this over the top of my Stick and Style. So the Stick and Style stencils from Redesign with Prima.
Now, is that a reusable one?
It is reusable to a certain extent. Okay, so you'll watch. I'm going to replace this and I'm going to use it for the entire side of this piece.
Sure, he says. I say damask when I get upset. Or damask.
Damask. Yeah, then it just sounds like you're making a design. You're just making a design choice, right? All right, so I'm scraping my joint compound over this top of my stencil. This is a pretty thin stencil, so my raised stencil is going to be, I don't know, not super tall.
Oh, that's not even, what's that item you have? It's not a brush. What is that?
It's a silicone spatula brush. These are also, this is from the Art Basics line from Redesign with Prima. See, it's silicone on the end. So I love these.
Beautiful.
I use usually a silicone spatula tool. Also, the Redesign Spread Pals, which is like this, but it's just the end. It doesn't have a handle on it. Oh, the nails are coming out on this.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Let me get my hammer out.
It's kind of old. My handle is pretty beat up, and I use this quite a bit. Okay, so once I've got this scraped over the top, I'm going to pull my stencil. And it comes out perfectly every time. Okay, now you can rinse this off, but I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to keep on rolling. So I'm going to find my next placement. And since I already have some joint compound on here, I'm just going to place the adhesive down using my brush. And it kind of will start filling in the stencil, which is okay because that's what I intend to do anyways.
I figured I'd shut the window so everyone doesn't have to hear about Jim's mom.
Oh my gosh. Yesterday, Sean was working on our garden, and I came over and I was like, I was out here painting, and I'm like, I need to take a break because I can hear my neighbor yelling at his mom on the phone. She's elderly.
He's elderly.
He's elderly, so she's definitely elderly. And I can basically, at this point, tell you all of her medical issues. Some are very graphic.
Acres of space between us.
We each have 5 acres, and I can still, I was like, I can tell you things about his mom that I'm kind of concerned about, and so I need to take a break and stop listening to this conversation.
So Roxanne's asking about what kind of joint compound that is. It really is just like you go to your big box stores or anywhere that sells drywall compound.
Yeah, it's a hardware store item.
And they're usually this, I don't know, it's like a 1 foot cube. And
I just put it into this little container. This is a spackle container, but this is not spackled. So I just want to be really abundantly clear that
it is not what you see on that label.
Do not look for this container. That's why I'm not going to show it to you. Because that's not, I just use this because it comes in a bigger container and I just wanted something small and I store it in the refrigerator. Okay, and I'm going to pull it again.
Bam.
And then this time, because I'm continuing my design, I need to look for my pattern repeat. So let's see. This was a challenge on the other side. No, over here. Okay, and I'm not going to stick the very top because I don't want that, I don't want the, so I just kind of stick the corners and then I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to press the adhesive down. So by the time I'm done with it on this side, if I wanted to, I could go take this over to the sink and I could wash it off and I could probably keep reusing this. I've had some where if I'm just using it with paint, this is joint compound, so it's a little more messy where for this stick and style, and I've reused them, you know, if I'm just doing a furniture piece and I'll just take it and keep sticking it like, I don't know, I think I did one like 16 times around a piece one time.
Wow, Pam Jacobs is going to be in Bogota tomorrow morning.
Hey, Pam.
She's out for the night.
Pam is a flight attendant.
She's out.
Pam out.
Now, in reference to the question came up, how do I store a 1 foot cube box of joint compound? Carefully.
Well, no.
It's really not that bad. It can sit out, but I didn't buy it with the intent of having a million little canisters to put it in.
No. We built our house, guys, and we had this at our house. So, and if I store it in the refrigerator, it'll last for a long time. So this was, gosh, I can't remember why we still had it like.
Oh, I bought a new one because there was other stuff that I was doing. I think it was taping when I was doing the bathroom, the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. It wasn't, I wouldn't buy that quantity, but I'm sure you can get little touch-up containers.
The cost of it's great. I mean, you basically buy the 1 foot cube and it's almost as much as one of those little jars, but you just can't store it anywhere. It's not practical.
All right. So I'm just going to keep on rolling with this.
You do you.
So by the time I get to the end of this, if I really wanted to try to save this piece, I could go rinse it off. I do not recommend rinsing joint compound in your drains. It causes clogs. So rinse it outside. But I could wash this piece off and I could stick it back on my roll and I could have this piece to reuse. I don't know that I'm that dedicated. I will probably just discard this piece in my stick and style. I've already done the other side of this piece, so I don't need it for that.
So this also speaks to the reusable factor.
Yes.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're going to go by it right away.
And I could keep going. And this is messier than using it with paint. You can just do this stencil with paint, but it's messier because I'm doing it with the joint compound.
I don't think he ever got your message, by the way.
Is that Ashton?
Yes.
Hey, Sass.
Yep.
On my dresser, there is earrings. They're
Wooden?
yeah,
Is that what you said?
like this,
Oh,
but
yeah,
little
never
tiny.
mind. Yeah,
You
I
know
know
what they are?
what you're
Can you go grab those for me?
Thank you.
Okay, and I could probably
Lori, she got the 5 to 7 minute dry compound. That's like the fast dry. Like you can't screw around at all.
Yeah, this is not that stuff.
No. This is just standard, not fast dry.
And then I have a little tiny section down here that I'm just going to fill in so it's not empty. So I just placed it one last time.
Oh man, there was I apologize. This is for those over on Instagram. I hadn't caught the message because Ashton came in the room, but I think that if I saw the icon correctly, I think that was someone, Refurbished Gentleman, that had made a comment.
Is it? I just saw you posted tonight and I didn't have a chance to read it, but I thought you were
hoping all is
were
well.
you flashing back? Hi, Mark. How are you? So nice to hear from you. Although I do follow you with your photography and your daughter's art and stuff, but Refurbished Gentleman is a furniture artist who recently left the business, so it's nice to see him. Okay, so this is my piece right here. It's still, I got a little bit of shrapnel on the back where it's stuck to pieces of my primer, but it's adhesive, so every stencil line comes out really clean and you don't need to use a stencil adhesive with it. And I was able to use it on this curved surface and it came out really nice. So if I wanted to, I do have a lot of excess joint compound on the front of this. I could easily clean this off and I could stick it back on the roll and reuse it. But sometimes you just let it go, you know? Sometimes you just
have to say...
Yeah. So I would say...
Rubber duck.
I do, yeah, sometimes you just gotta say rubber duck. I think this is 15 yards. And what did I use here? 18 inches. So sometimes I will have to do the math on these. I think these retail in the like $15 range. So if it's $1 a yard and I used about a half a yard here.
3 yards.
This one's 3 yards?
Yeah. It says 3 yards.
Oh, that's what, then I'm thinking, some are different lengths too. The smaller rolls are different lengths. Okay, so is it 3 yards?
It's not instructions, so I can read it.
I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, I'm sorry. I said 3 yards. So anyway, so sometimes I will do the math on what I'm using and say, okay, if this is only worth, you know, a couple dollars, it's not worth it. I don't nickel and dime myself like that. So I'm going to discard this. There it goes.
Huh?
And I still have plenty left on my roll, but I easily get, if I'm doing a project, I can go around and just use one piece on the project and then discard it. So that has to get washed. My joint compound I do store in the refrigerator, so I just found a little container and I store that in the refrigerator. It tends to keep longer, it can mildew, and don't rinse it down your drains. And now I have it on my fingers. Okay, so this I need to let dry, but I did do the other side of my piece and that's already dry. My weathered wood accelerator is turning a really pretty color. So I like the color of it. I feel like the green sets off the gray tones in the wood really nicely. It's not all the way dry over here, so that'll be a little more even. But I think if I use the gray, it just matches too much. So what do you guys think? Are you guys in agreement on that? So I think we're going to go with a green color scheme.
You ever used a company called Amy? Excuse me. Is it Amy Howard's 1 Hour Miracle?
Not her 1 hour paint. Not her 1 hour paint. I've used Amy Howard paint, but it's been years ago. So kind of what happened was after I had been with a brand for a long time, I experimented for a year. I did a full year of using so many different brands. It got really overwhelming and it got really confusing for my followers. And so I kind of settled in with just using just a couple, and every once in a while I'll sprinkle in another brand. Instead of doing a different thing every week, it was just too overwhelming for everyone.
So Paula wants you to use the purple. She keeps saying
purple? Well, that's not even a choice.
But I think that it might look on camera.
Is this my cup? Cup?
No.
This is gray over here, and this is green. And I think we're going to stick in the green. So I'm going to turn it, and I already have this side complete. So what I did with my stencil, after it dried, I went ahead and I sanded it lightly, and then I just sprayed it with a coat of shellac. The reason I want to spray it with the shellac is because joint compound will reactivate with moisture really easily. So this creates a barrier so that it's nice and sealed under there, and I can paint over top without affecting my stencil.
So I'm going to guess that Paula's favorite color is purple.
She keeps saying purple.
Yeah.
It's not even a choice.
She said she's the purple girl.
Okay, so the color scheme that I'm going to use with the green is going to be... Well, one of them I didn't have in a full-size container. I had to get out a sample.
What color is it?
This one. Okay, so my color scheme I'm going to take the green. I gotta open this one. All right, the green is called Dried Thyme. I'm going to use it with Restoration, which is a soft beige, and then this charcoal gray, which is called Carbon. So that's my 3-color scheme is Dried Thyme, Restoration, and Carbon. All right. Let's put some paint on this. This raised stencil is going to be really, really subtle. And that's okay because on this piece, I feel like I'm working with subtleties. Everything is a little subtle. Just the softness of the wood, you know, it's not going to be overt design choices. Everything's going to be very, I don't know. I'm just kind of letting the piece speak for itself more than I'm putting a lot on this one. Although I did have a thought that would be cute with this. And that was using a transfer. Once it gets done, since I've got some really earthy stuff on here with the greens, I thought just adding a couple mushrooms somewhere might be cute. Just sneaking in a couple little mushrooms. This transfer is called Forest. And it just has some little red mushrooms in it.
I don't think you should use mushrooms. I don't have a good history with mushrooms.
Is this a one-time in college story? He's asking you if I'm a Mr. Bottle.
And I don't mean the kind that you just lick off a paper or something. Yeah. Let me just get that clear right out of the gate.
I don't know. I've known you for a long time, and I don't know this story, so I'm a little concerned.
Chinese food.
I thought we were talking about like hallucinogens.
Like, no.
I thought this was a way better story.
Well, last weekend.
I don't have a good history with mushrooms. What?
Yes. Shrooms. Yeah.
Okay, so I am brushing this around my raised stencil, and I do have to work it into some of the crevices on that, and I'm also working it kind of gently on this first coat because I'm not that sure that my coat of shellac that I did really quickly right before I came on live, I'm not that sure my coat of shellac is that good. So if I have spots that didn't get adequately coated, I don't want to reactivate them and brush them away with my paint. Okay, so that was my dried thyme, and then in the center here, I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to give myself just a little bit of color. And then I'm going to put some of that restoration in here. Again, very subtle on this one. I want it to be more elegant on the piece than...
Subtle's my middle name.
We know that's not true.
Shrooms.
Shrooms is your middle name?
No, just throw out the... Never mind.
All right, so I'm just adding a little touch of that restoration in the middle, just to give me a little bit of lightness. Probably looks terrible. I can't see because I'm not sitting at it head on. And again, I'm going to let this coat dry. I'm not going to overwork this coat because I'm not that certain in my coat of shellac. Back to my brush for the green. All right, so I'll do kind of a little highlight in the center and then around the edges. And I only had this color in a color sample. So I'm going to work from the sample, but these are really nice to have. And Wiesel does offer their colors in these color samples. These are 4-ounce color samples. And this color is super nice and rich. And it'll just give me a little bit of shadowing around these edges. This is called Carbon. It's just my base coat, so I'm just trying to get some color on here. My second coat, I'll definitely pay more attention to getting this on good. I definitely like this color combination. I like it with the grayed out wood. Move my Mr. Bottle, which, by the way, I got so tired of broken Mr. Bottles and Mr. Bottles that spray weird and ones that you push the button on and then the water keeps coming out for, you know, another 12 months after you're done with it. So I finally threw away all my broken Mr. Bottles and ordered new ones. Amazon had a pack of 5 for $25 and then they had a $3 off coupon. So I just got 5 new Mr. Bottles. They're still sitting on my kitchen counter. I don't have them out here yet.
No, I did. I brought them out here because I'm tired of looking at them.
Because you're tired of looking at them sitting on the kitchen counter. So
Sherry's she's looking out for me.
I'm pretty excited for new Mr. Bottles. Sometimes
just curious. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna say something and I want you to react. Okay? I know it's not often.
Is this more about mushrooms?
What's Saturday? Saturday is what day of the month?
Tax day. Make sure you file your taxes. Unless you live in an emergency zone like we do.
Like we do?
It's also
Yeah.
another.
But-
It's also.
Yep. What else is there?
Noah has some training for the sheriff's department on
Yeah,
Saturday.
what else?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What else? Just throwing it out there.
I'm
Let's
trying to
see,
think what
Saturday,
else.
Saturday.
Saturday is the 15th of April.
Saturday.
Sherry.
What happened? Approximately.
Oh, don't you dare say a number.
70.
No.
Wait,
Don't say
Did you just say 78
He said
years ago?
78 years ago. Four score.
So what Sean
That'd be
is
seven
talking about
score.
is it is my birthday on Saturday.
What? Oh crap!
But because
Can we
it's,
extend that?
because it's my birthday, I like to give you guys some presents.
Oh, like yeah, Lori's got a
So-
point. It's not tax day. You get till Monday.
That's true because it falls on a weekend. So
Can we roll the birthday too?
let's play with some new stuff, you guys, because I'm going to give you guys some presents for my birthday.
What?
Yeah, how raw of a deal is
Barb
that?
says her birthday's on Sunday. What the hey?
Is it? We have a crew race on
Let's
Sunday.
count back 9 months and see what people were doing.
This one's local. Yeah. Yeah, what month would that be? Is it a cold month of the year?
Yeah, I don't do math and
Do you have your knife on you?
no. Oh my
This
gosh, I can't even look.
This is
I
Guy
can't.
Lansing.
Come on,
I can't even
I'm gonna
look.
spend my birthday in
I
the
can go.
hospital.
Yeah.
This is one of the things, and this is a company that was generous enough to give me one of these to send home with you guys. But let me show you what it is first. So this is called the Brush Keeper, okay? And this is what it looks like. Super cool. And it's a brush, but it also comes with a storage. So you can take this and you can put your brush in here and then put it in the little cup and pop this in the refrigerator and you can keep your brush. So we're going to use this tonight. This is called the Brush Keeper, and I have one of these guys to send home with you guys. So let's see. So I have to make you guys do
Can I win it?
something.
Because postage is really cheap. For me.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some giveaways all weekend.
Tupperware
but
for brushes.
Well, yes, we'll
Yes,
get
Paula.
this away on the live. So let's see, what can I have them do? Tell me.
Tuesday taxes are due.
Yeah, clearly we haven't done our taxes
Yeah.
yet. We live.
We need to get an
Our
extension.
county had an emergency disaster declaration this year, so they extended our tax deadline. That's why. Tell me your favorite paint color from Wise Owl Paint. And that will enter you guys, and then I will choose someone to win. I'll have
After
my
the fact.
son choose at the end of the broadcast someone to win, and then I'll have to get your information from you. So I've got one of these
And
guys
go.
here. So tell me your favorite paint color from Wise Owl Paint. And I'm going to keep painting, and I'm going to show you what I would use that guy for, but let me get my paint on here. So that's more of a narrow shaped brush, and what I like those for is painting in corners. And I'll turn this to the front, and I'll show you exactly what I mean on this particular piece. So I'm going to do some kind of a highlight in here, although I think it needs to be more centered. So let's just get my paint on here. All right, so I'm going to put up this carbon up on the side. I'm trying to make sure you guys don't cheat by me telling you guys color.
No one has picked.
What?
Yeah, not the obvious. Not the carbon.
Okay, so what I would use a brush like this for is this has a nice narrow tip on it. So when I'm painting in areas like this here, and this is one of the reasons I love to have different size brushes in my collection. This has nice soft synthetic bristles on it. And I'm using it to paint into this detail molding right here. So corners, detail moldings, that's when having these different size brushes is a really, really, really nice feature. So I'm also going to do, you guys pay attention on my pages, and I'm going to do some other...
Julie, first one that said carbon.
See, that's what I was like, I'm going to zip
We got a lot of dry
I'm
time.
going to zip
and-
it. I also have some other things that I'm going to give away this week. And so I'll put some posts up separately for this. We'll do the brush on the live. But I also have some issues of Annie Sloan's The Colorist. And these, she just came out with a brand new issue. So to celebrate that, we'll give away a couple of these issues of The Colorist. And what these are is their color inspiration books. Annie Sloan has published a whole bunch of books, and these are beautifully done. So this one is devoted to pinks. Pinks, there's some different shades in here.
You're about to hit the paint with the one on the back.
And she shows you all different combinations. It talks about different artists, you know, origins of colors, complementary colors. So I've got the pinks, and then I have green too. So I'll do some giveaways for these on my page. And the other thing I have is, and I considered using this on this piece here, but I have some poly onlay. Where, what I asked you to get out of my room? Oh, here they are. So what poly onlay is it's a really thin wood. This is all wood decoration. And on this piece here, I considered, this one is sort of a honeycomb pattern, and I could cut out the honeycomb and inlay it onto this wood. And I have some poly onlay earrings to give away. So I'll do some posts on my page, but for my birthday, I'm giving you guys presents. So I'm going to do some giveaways this week on my pages. But on the live, I'm going to keep painting with my brush keeper. And again, let me show you the brush keeper. So I've got the brush. This is how I would use it. You can slide on this little cap here, and then I can slip this into the brush keeper bottle. This seals, just pops together, and this can go right into a refrigerator. And then the next time I want to pull this brush out to use, I can pop it out of the brush keeper. And I can use this on different brushes. So not just the one that it comes with, but if I have a different brush, I can also use it with the brush keeper. So I can pop a whole bunch of different brushes. They have these for all different size brushes too. So this is a small narrow one, but they make them for larger brushes. So these are kind of cool to have. And then I can just pop it in, and it's going to seal that brush. This one actually fits better, so it gives me a nice seal on the top, whereas using it with the different brush, I don't get that nice seal on it, but it would still keep. See, this will have a seal. Pop this in here.
So what is that?
This is
for those that do not win this.
This is called the Brush Keeper. Let's see if they have their website on here.
Me likey.
Brushkeeper.com. Made in Holland. Really cool product. Yeah. So that's what I'm using on this one. I'll actually, let me finish getting the paint on here. This paint color is called Dried Thyme. And I asked you guys to throw up what are your favorite paint colors from Wiesel Paint, and then
I feel like Lori is playing Jeopardy. What is the name of that brush keeper?
We were watching Jeopardy the other night with the kids, and they asked us, why does everybody pose their answer as a question, and we had to explain to them, like, well, in Jeopardy you don't get the answer, you get the question, and you have to tell them. All right, and so then I'm going to blend this carbon into the Dried Thyme, which I think is a really pretty color mix. And I'll kind of shade it so that I have just that Dried Thyme on the edge. It's a really nice soft brush. It does blend really nicely. I'm just dragging it through the paint colors to kind of blur that line where they meet up. I'm working from a color sample. I don't have a full container of this carbon, but this is enough. I will be able to do this project and even more just using a small color sample like this. So don't ever underestimate how far a color sample will go. You could probably do like a full-size nightstand just using a color sample of paint. All right, this is just my first coat, so I'm totally aware that it has tons of flaws in it. I mostly just wanted to show you guys what my color scheme was because I had a lot of stuff to show you guys. All right, and I'll give you guys another minute. Do I have that table out here for my aunt?
What? Oh, the one she found in the dumpster.
No, no, don't say that. You're gonna tell me no again. All right. That's a really pretty color scheme. So the colors I use are Dried Time, Carbon, and Restoration on here. So while I let you keep dropping your favorite colors from Wisel to enter for the Brush Keeper, which we'll do a giveaway at the very end of the broadcast, I do have a YouTube video coming out, but I wanted to show you guys this because we've been working on this together on camera. And this will be my YouTube video that comes out this weekend. So this is the drop table that we've been working on. I added the Magnolia transfer. This is the new midi size Magnolia transfer from Redesign with Prima. The colors on this I used were Refurbished Gentleman. Shout out to Mark. I ended up changing my green to Foxtrot and then a little bit of the Restoration in the middle. So that came out really pretty. A little bit of waxes. It's super soft and smooth. And then I also have all my colors blended on the base of the table. And then it's a little drop table. So this is for my aunt. She salvaged this. I won't
From
say
a dumpster.
She told me no. She's like, stop saying I dug in a dumpster.
That's why I do it. She knows that.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I really thought you did. And
I'm
she
here
was
to
like,
irritate.
no. No, the owner of the table was the owner of a shop that she knew, and they were rehoming the table
By throwing it in the dumpster.
Yeah, with the dumpster. She's gonna... Auntie Lori, that was Sean that said it. Wasn't
Love
me.
you, Lori.
It wasn't me. So this I'll have up on my YouTube channel. You guys can see this transfer going on. I think it looks really pretty. I'll pop it up so you guys can look at it. And should we give away a Brush Keeper? You want to do it? Okay, so I'm going to send Ashton over to my comment thread. And if you just want to scroll up and somebody who listed a color name on there. All right, my son Ashton is doing the giveaway, so I don't have to feel biased.
No, not that one. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we don't like them.
Oh, man. Too much sugar in my diet.
Okay, and tell me when you have one.
Got it?
You just need a name. And then you can tell me what color they said too. All right, he's scrolling at random.
Any day now. It's totally okay.
No, it's okay.
Which one?
All right, you got one?
No.
No? All right, while he's scrolling, I'm going to keep painting.
Very particular.
I'm going to add a little bit of water to this.
Oh, I guess I should put... There we go.
I added a little bit of water because I've been chatting, so my paint had started to set up a little bit.
Which one? Okay.
All right, you want to say it?
You want to say the
Dad
name?
can.
Okay, you got to say it. So give us the name.
Dad can.
Nancy, I want to say Rink, R-I-N-K-E, and the paint color is...
Poseidon.
Oh, Poseidon, that's a great one. So Nancy, Rink, or Rinky. Do you say the E on that one? R-I-N-K-E. Nancy, we're going to send you home with the Brush Keeper. I'll have to ship it out to you. So if you want to message me, and I need to get your shipping information. So shoot me a message on my Brush by Brandy page. I'll get that information from you, and you get to go home with a Brush Keeper. You guys,
well, she doesn't get to go home with it. She's going to be home when she gets it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, maybe she's going to go
Oh, with
home.
an E.
With the E. Okay, so Rinky, Nancy Rinky, congratulations, you guys. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to keep doing more giveaways, so if you didn't get this one, and here's the secret, you guys, I have another Brush Keeper to give away. So watch for giveaways on my page this
I'm right
week.
here.
We're going to celebrate my birthday week by doing giveaways on my page. So if you guys like this and you want to check it out, check out the giveaways on my page this week. Poseidon is a beautiful color choice. It's a super rich dark blue with the green undertones. I love it. I just taught a class in it, so that's a great color choice. My colors that I use tonight are Dried Time, Carbon, and Restoration. And then we used Weather Wash, which is a weathered wood accelerator to gray the wood out on the front of this piece. I think it's going to be really pretty with the green color scheme. We did some raised stenciling with Redesign with Prima stick and style stencils, which conform to the curvature of my piece. So that was cool. A lot of good stuff tonight. All right, you guys, thank you for playing along. Thank you for celebrating my birthday with me. And I will catch you guys next week. Everyone have a great weekend. I do have a video coming up on my YouTube channel, so go subscribe to my YouTube if you're not already. I shoot out a new tutorial there every week, and it's going to be...
The dumpster find.
Yeah, well, this is...
I can only get away with doing that so many times.
This is the after of the dumpster find, not the before.
But it was generated through a
It came
dumpster
out really
find.
pretty. All right, guys. Have a good weekend, everyone. I'll talk to you guys next week.